Welcome back, everyone. It's the FloTrack podcast. It is cross country day. I am Kevin. He is Gordon. Had a cup of coffee this morning, Gordon. I'm fired up. How are you feeling?
I am feeling so good. There was a last minute change in start times. Got me all off my... I was like, wait, I'm not prepared for like the Mid-Atlantic region to go off like 30 minutes earlier or later. It just I had my chart out. I had all the start times. I was ready to watch every race, and they were like, wait, no, we're doing... It screwed me up for a bit, but then I realized it's not that serious. It's going to be okay. All the races will be done when we go live at 12:30, and we'll be fine.
So we're recording this live, as Gordon mentioned. Shout out to everybody watching live on YouTube. Subscribe if you haven't yet to the FloTrack podcast YouTube page. Become a member right after this pod. We're recording our members-only pod. Yes. It's going to be a doozy. It's going to be a good one. Gordon signed off on it. It's my idea. So if you don't like it, blame me. So we're going to go through region by region. We're going to go through the results, who gets in automatically, and then we're going to give the projections on who will get an at-large bid. Those are unofficial, but ones that you feel real good about.
They're official in my head.
99.99.
They're official in my head.
Okay.
Sometimes my head screws up a bit, you know?
Yeah.
But they're official in my mind.
Yeah.
But I'm not NCAA.
Sure.
I don't give out the tickets. Like, I'm not actually mailing them the... Do they get like an envelope with like a
no
golden ticket? Like, you're going...
No, they just get an email.
Just get an email?
A golden email.
A golden email.
Yeah.
So it's like Twitter Blue, but for email?
Yeah, you have to pay $8.
$8 to get the email for NCAAs.
You get to go to Stillwater, but you have to pay us $8. Yeah.
I like that.
I'm sure there's some teams that you're going to feel great about. Hey, they're definitely 100% in, where other ones, you're going to say, all right, this looks like it's the case, but we have to say unofficial just because it's not all the way there. But we'll get
Legally, we have to say unofficial?
Legally, due to the sponsors, no. Just because sometimes there's weird 9-way tiebreakers and stuff like that. I just want to get it out there at the top of the show.
Okay, it's in.
Don't blame
Gordon. It's out. It's there.
Don't blame Gordon if he gets it incorrect.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go region by region.
Yeah, I'm turning over the reins to you.
We're going to react to each regional, and then at the end of going through all 9 regions, we will announce the at-large 13 women's teams and the at-large 13 men's team.
Let's do it.
So it'll be fun. The men though right now they run in like a half an hour. The final 2 regionals are at 1.
West and Mountain.
Yeah, West and Mountain.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a little bit of like we'll hit the men right when it happened. Women, it's kind of already known because the Mountain and West just finished. But anyway, let's just get right into it. First region of the day, the South region, starring Parker Valby. She got the thing done. She's now 3 for 3. Wins again easily in front of the quartet of Alabama women. Valby showing no signs of slowing down. Obviously the Alabama women did not really have an incentive to go crazy. There's no prize. Is there a prize? Is there like a trophy for winning a regional?
I think so.
There is?
I think there's a trophy for a
trophy.
Regional. It's not like regionals in track where it's the first and second rounds.
Yeah.
Like this is actually a regional championship.
Okay. But yeah, Alabama cruised with a 2-3-4-5 finish. Their 5th was in 20th. So that's going to be someone to look at when it looks to NCAAs, because if they have a great 4, it's going to be great, but you need that 5th. And Alabama's clearly going to be relying on her to... Who's the 5th? You could bring up who was the 5th for Alabama?
Elka Machan.
Yeah, Elka Machan. She's a transfer, I believe.
20th place.
She was 20th. But yeah, Alabama gets in. They're going. And then Florida State gets the 2nd at-large. Parker Valby winning it. Any thoughts on this women's race?
I was looking for 2 things here. What would Valby do? Would she just cruise with the pack, or would she run hard? Clearly, she won by a big margin. Not sure how much energy XC exerted. It's sort of reminding me of Wayne Kaladi's season from a couple years back when we knew she could win, and we always just wondered, hey, how hard is she going to go? And the answer was always very hard, right? Like conference, she racked up a huge win. Region, she racked up a big margin as well, too. Valby seems to be doing a similar type of thing. Again, we don't know how hard the Alabama women ran, but obviously Chalangat and Taisma are people we expect to be in the top 5 or 10 of that race, and Valby's still winning by, almost 20 seconds over them. The second thing I was looking for, you mentioned it before, Alabama's 5th. How would they look? And we're sort of in the same spot as we were going into the meet with them.
When it comes to at-large scenarios, Ole Miss getting third. They don't really have many wins. I don't see Ole Miss or Lipscomb pushing in Ole Miss to make the meet. I mean, it's not 100%, but good chance there's only 2 from this region.
Yeah. And those 2, Alabama and Florida State. Alabama, Florida State.
On the men's side, show up the men's results. We kind of had a little bit of an upset. I was surprised about this. Individually, Victor Kiprop won the race. Tennessee went 2-3. But if you look at the team scores, let's go right to the team scores for this. Tennessee gets the win. Ole Miss gets second. And Alabama falls to third. The 3 SEC schools, Alabama beat Tennessee and Ole Miss 2 weeks ago. And now is getting third. And it made me think, does Alabama have enough to get in as an at-large? We'll find out. Their odds are pretty good. They do have some good wins, but I was kind of surprised Alabama did not finish top 2 with Tennessee and Ole Miss getting the 2 autos.
Yeah, and it was close. Only 4 points between them. Alabama goes 1-7-12, 24-29. Ole Miss 4-9, 13, 15, 28. I mean, that thing was tight all the way through. Alabama having the slight edge with the low stick there. But how about Tennessee, huh? We thought they'd be good this year, 10K champion. You had Abdallah transferred in from Texas, and Sean Carlson in his first year leads them to 39 points and a victory.
Now, obviously, if you look at 2, 3, 4, 5 place, they all finished at the exact same time, so no one was trying to win it. Dylan Jacobs. Are we sleeping on him? He hasn't really done anything crazy all season long. Is he waiting to, do what he did at Nationals?
Yeah.
No one was talking about Dylan Jacobs going into the 10K, and then he goes out and wins it.
Yeah.
No one is talking about Dylan Jacobs here in cross-country season. Will he then all of a sudden go out and win it?
Yeah, it's weird because he's the 10K champion, but we would describe him probably as a sleeper to win cross-country because his cross-country season has been a bit quiet. And you have other guys out there who just made more of an impact on the cross-country season, but also you look like what Nico Young did at USA's, and you're like, all right, well, that can be a guy who can win it. So he's in a good spot, I think, just from the perspective of somehow he's managed to have no expectations and no pressure on him.
Yeah.
But he's also the 10K champion.
Yeah. It's interesting. He's had a unique cross-country season. Obviously, transferring schools, just a different environment, that can be a factor as well. But, he's looking good. He's right there, just chilling through regionals, which is what you want to do.
One more thing before we move on from the South, because I wanted to get thoughts from the chat here. Kurt says Valby looked to have plenty in the tank as well. A couple of points where Valby looked to be easily speaking to her coach. So, again, just because she's winning by big margins doesn't mean she's emptying the tank. So that's just something to keep in mind with a runner that good. Because I don't think those years where I talked about with Kaladi winning by big margins too, I don't think she was emptying the tank. I just think she was that much better than everybody else in the field that even a tempo run pace or a tempo run but a little bit faster type pace was helping her rack up these huge margins in conference and in regionals.
So, again, after the South regional, Alabama and Florida State women are in, and Tennessee and Ole Miss men are in, with unknown who will get an at-large, if any, from those men's and women's races.
Great Lakes.
The Great Lakes. Why do I call them great?
There's a lot of them, and they're big.
I mean, Lake Austin's kind of great.
No one calls it Lake Austin. Do you want to start with the men or the women?
Start the women.
Okay.
Ladies first.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Olivia Markovic.
Markasic.
Close enough. Addie Engel. The big surprise I thought here was obviously Addie Engel running well for Ohio State, but Ohio State getting the at-large.
Yeah.
I did not have them ranked even in the top 4. They get second here. And you can see it's very close. Look at the scores. Ohio State 111, Michigan 116, Michigan State 124, Wisconsin and Toledo 129, 131. A separation of 20 points for 2 through 6, which is going to be massively affecting the at-large situation.
Right.
So Ohio State getting in, that is big. Notre Dame dominating, like 34 points. Notre Dame is, a top 7 team potential at nationals. But I was surprised Ohio State got in here. It's going to affect which Big Ten schools, Michigan, Michigan State, Wisconsin. Do they all get in? Do some of them get in? We'll have to wait and find out when we make our announcement. But they do have some wins. So they're on the bubble, but I'm kind of confident that they're good. A lot of them are going to get in. I think Toledo was the one that kind of needed to have a better day. they're going to be on the bubble.
This feels like a typical Great Lakes season. We usually have a lot of depth there and a lot of teams within 5 or 10 points. Look at that number 5 runner difference between Ohio State and Michigan. Ohio State 61 points, Michigan 30, but Ohio State hangs on by 5 points. Oof. They were probably just keeping their fingers crossed, hoping for that 5th runner to come across. Like, hey, can we get her here? Because we need to have enough to hang on. Because if she fell back, 10 more spots, that's a couple more places that they could have lost, 15 more spots. So Ohio State though was not a team that made the NCAA championships a lot. Now they're going back to the big dance again.
Yeah,
so.
Good for them.
And you think Michigan will get in? Michigan State, Wisconsin, Toledo, you think they'll all be fine?
I think so. I mean, I don't want to make any promises. You have to tune into the rest of the podcast to find out.
Okay.
But it's a good chunk of Great Lakes teams are making the meet.
Okay.
So I'll say that.
All right. Men's side.
Go to the men's results. Just go right to the team. Individually, Barry Keene win, but team-wise, Wisconsin men got the job done. They put their top 6 in the top 12.
Yeah.
So half of the top 12 were from them. Notre Dame, new coach, new roster, still getting it done, qualifying as an auto. Michigan and Butler. Michigan State there in 5th. You see Michigan State. I think I had them ranked 13th nationally. They're a lot better than how they did here. They're going to be a team I'm going to have to watch to see if they make it to this meet. These results kind of are affecting, I think, what I had 2 days ago. Michigan, I think, should still be good. Butler, I think, is a bubble team, but, I'm leaning towards probably making it. We'll find out. Michigan State, though, I think their shot might be gone here because they finished outside the top 4.
Wisconsin, you got to like what they did. I mean, that's just clinical. Top 6, all between 4 and 12th place there. You said they were a bit of a sleeper this year on the men's side.
I did. I think we'll find out.
Of course we'll find out. But that's just very controlled. It looks like they all run around the same time too. So, all right. You want to move on to the next region?
Let's do it.
All right. Who's
We're
next?
rolling. I don't know. What is next?
We are going to go next to.
You have the list.
Yeah, I got the list right here. We're going to go to South Central. Excuse me.
South Central.
Yeah, break it down for us.
The great South Central. Everyone was looking forward to the South Central, aka the Arkansas-Texas region. They should just call this the
dual meet. Yeah.
The Texarkana meet or whatever you call it, because it's always Arkansas and Texas, Texas and Arkansas. Those are the teams that qualify here. Don't even care about the individual results. Just go right to the team scores. On the women's side, Arkansas 49 points, Texas 102, LSU. Only 2 teams are coming out of this region pretty much every year. LSU trying to get there at Texas, could not pull it off. Texas takes it with 2nd. Nothing much really to add here. On the men's side, similar situation. Texas and Arkansas getting the job done. See what the scores were.
Pretty close.
A lot closer, though. So Arkansas, 49 points, Texas, 55, and then A&M was that 3rd team out. But you can see that gap. It's so different. It's Arkansas and Texas, and then everyone else. A&M tried to close it on the men's side. LSU tried to close it on the women's side. But both of them, still 3rd in the region. It's pretty good. But Texas and Arkansas, the team's going. And I don't think either of those teams really going to make much of an impact at the national level. Arkansas, we see what the women did in 2019. Men have typically had some good rosters, but it seems like a kind of a down year for both Arkansas and Texas.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's keep moving then. Let's go Mid-Atlantic. Mid-Atlantic, a little bit of an upset on the women's side of things?
Yeah. It's an upset, but then when you think about it, you're like, that wasn't an upset. It's like one of those things when you see an upset happen, you're like, what were we thinking? That's not an upset. They're just better. And I think that is with this West Virginia women's team. They got Kaylee McCabe, who is in running to potentially win the whole thing at Nationals. So they have a great 1 stick. Charlotte Wood, good number 2. But West Virginia being able to sneak into that top 2. Georgetown is the clearly better team.
Yeah.
Georgetown is a top 10 caliber team. They get the job done. Penn and Princeton and Penn State, the big 3 Ps, as they are calling it.
Princeton, Penn State, Penn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you heard about that?
That's the first time I've ever heard of it.
Yeah, it's a big thing.
Okay.
It's a whole Twitter community, Reddit community. All the Penn, Princeton, and Penn State alum, they get together.
Love it.
And they talk about Who is the real P?
Who's the real?
No, I'm just kidding. Penn gets third. Princeton gets fourth. I don't think. I think we might just get 2 from this region for the women.
Yeah, McCabe individually. How do you like her chances? Do you think she could get into that title race?
Yeah, I mean she'll be there. She beat Cook and Rowe at Big 12s, and Cook and Rowe we expect to be in the top 6. She's going to be in it with a mile to go, but like Parker Valby and Caitlin Tui are just too good, in my opinion.
So the men, Villanova won with 36 points, Georgetown second, 58, Princeton third with 73. Then it got back to LaSalle in fourth. Leah Murphy won individually for Villanova.
So this was a big there's the big 3, Villanova, Georgetown, and Princeton. The question was who's going to get the 2, who's going to have to wait. Turns out Princeton's the team that's going to have to wait. They take the 3rd spot. Princeton, when I saw the result, I was like, going in, I thought Princeton was top 2 or bust. But looking at it as other results have kind of unfolded, Princeton still has a good shot of making it as an at-large. So Princeton, I still think, might make the team. They're a top 25 ranked team in my opinion. Georgetown, Villanova just had better days. Villanova's good. I thought Princeton would have done better, to be honest. But hey, that's why they run the race, right?
Checking on the chat, Bill says Mid-Atlantic had tropical storm remnants, very wet in Pennsylvania today. Kurt says Princeton men went out super hard, way up early, and really died. Yeah, so if you look at the...
Yeah, they ran I guess that means they ran like they needed top 2 or bust.
Well, I'm looking at the 5K mark. They had 39 points. They're in first. Then at the next split was 8,800, so almost 4K later, and then that's when they were in third, and then they never were able to recover. So they did have they were 2, 4, 5, 9, 19 at the 5,000 meter mark.
So we'll see if Princeton gets in as an at-large on the men's side. Women's side, I don't think the 3rd place team will get in as an at-large. It'll be a two-team region for the women. All right, Northeast. Ready? Time for Northeast?
Let's do it.
Starting with the women, Providence women win. Syracuse takes second. Columbia almost got that second place spot, loses by 8 points to Syracuse. Looking at the impact of how this affects the at-large teams, it's kind of important. This was another make-or-break region. The odds of a 3rd team coming out of the Northeast for the women was pretty slim. We'll see if Columbia gets in. I wouldn't hold my breath, and the big reason why is because the Mountain region is going to get so many people. They're going to change NCAAs just the Mountain region. Like, it's pre-nats happened in the Mountain region on the women's side. I'll tell you that right now. But yeah, Providence, Syracuse get the locks. Columbia, I don't think they're going to get in.
No.
I mean, we'll find out, but
that's tough.
Yeah,
it's tough. Only eight points there. That's real close in the finish. What about men?
Men. So here's an interesting one. So Harvard does a job, got their 1-2. They get in as a team as well. Syracuse and Harvard both get in. I was surprised. Iona, man. Iona getting 5th. When have you seen Iona get 5th in their regional? Obviously, Ricardo Santos has left to go to Stanford, and it's been a few years now after that. Team is not as, I remember the Mitch Goose era and like all these great.
I think we all remember the Mitch Goose era.
Lenny Corrier.
Wow, you're going way back.
I've been watching the sport for
a decade. That was the first cross championships I ever went to. Was Lenny Corrier, Lowie Lang, Chris Derrick, Cam Levins.
Golden era.
Some say
it's the golden era. But yeah, I was surprised Iona gets 5th here. Their top runner was 9th. They only put 2 in the top 15. It's an off year for them, and they've made the meet. Did they make the meet? Maybe they missed the meet recently, but I feel like they've always been like in the meet. Is this their first time missing in
I don't have
forever
that.
years?
I don't have that.
You don't have that?
Don't have the
that
stat
number. Me. But I was surprised Iona not going to go to nationals. Pretty surprising here. I mean, they didn't run well during the regular season, so it makes sense, but still weird. Iona, they're like the NAU of the East.
Well, let's calm down a little bit on that.
They were the NAU of the East when NAU from like 2008 to 2016.
Until they started ripping off national titles.
Pre-Mike Smith and NAU, they were the NAU of the East. They're like the small school that can mix it up with the big boys.
That always makes it,
Maybe Podium. Obviously, NAU now is different, but pre-2016 NAU was basically Iona.
That's what everybody knows NAU for now, is the pre-2016 version of it.
I mean, if you've been watching a sport for at least a decade, you remember.
You have been, yeah. Okay, one thing before we move on. We got 4 more regions. I'm looking back at Great Lakes. Was that men's race final? Because the results only go through 8K.
What do you mean?
On the Great Lakes for the men, you go to the men's side of things, and there's nothing at the finish for results. We're only seeing through 8K.
Oh. I don't know.
I'm just wondering. I mean, the race has long been over. So.
Well, let's check if. Okay, so it's on TFERS.
Okay.
So let's check the TFERS scores.
We can compare them, I guess.
TFERS goes Wisconsin, Notre Dame, Michigan, Butler.
Okay.
Michigan State, Indiana, Miami.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then, okay.
That's with the right time too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on. What's next?
I don't know.
We just did Northeast. We are ready for. We got 4 more Southeast. Let's go to the Southeast.
Ooh.
Thank you, Colt, for pulling that up.
NC State gets the job done. They win 25 points. That's what you need to do. After, almost losing your ACC meet, you got to come back and dominate your Southeast region, and they did that. Look at their team score, 5 points. Look at the athlete results.
Mm-hmm. The spread, too, 37 seconds.
37 seconds.
Tui wins it.
I meant Tui, Camille, Bush, their big 3 all run well. Don't really worry about the separate. I mean, they all beat Tori Herman, who's, I think, All-American caliber.
Mm-hmm.
Sydney Seymour, who I mentioned is one of the main linchpins of whether or not they're going to win a back-to-back title or maybe finish outside the top 1, finish second or third. She ran incredible. She was only 4 seconds back of Samantha Bush, which is what she's good at. I mean, I ranked her 25th in the nation. She comes here after having a bad ACC. She had a great, I said this on the podcast, she had a great, what was it? First race at Joe Piani. And then Nutty Comb and ACC didn't go too well. But now she runs this. She's back on what we think she is, which is one of the best runners in the nation. So,
yeah, I wonder if this is the 7 that they run at Nationals.
I mean, was Marley Starlipper on there? Probably not.
Tui, Camille,
she's the only.
Bush,
I think by now though, you just go with this. You go with what you got. You ride, Marino, Robber, and Corzo as your potential 5th. It's one of them to show up as the 5th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have options though. That's my point.
When you're great, you have options.
Behind them,
North Carolina.
Yeah, so they get the other auto with 76 points. So it's very one-sided.
Yeah.
Very one-sided. And then Virginia 3rd with 109. Should we go to the men?
Yeah, let's do it.
So men, North Carolina 61, Virginia 83, Wake Forest 88, NC State 96. Individually, Nicholas Scudder gets it done.
So bunch of surprises here. I thought Charlotte would do better and be the surprise team out of this region. That didn't happen, but Scudder's going to be there, so we're all good. Virginia getting second. Did not see that coming. After the way they ran at ACCs, I did not have Virginia running this well. Vin clearly got them peaking at the right time. They beat a good Wake Forest team and a good NC State team for that matter. I was very surprised Virginia was able to get an auto. Very surprised. And Wake Forest, obviously, they're going to get in at large. They're one of the best teams in the nation. Duke, bro, Duke might make the meet.
Yeah, I mean,
when's the last time the Duke men, or women for that matter, have made the national meet?
Yeah. 135 ahead of Eastern Kentucky. It's a good run for them.
So keep an eye on that Duke 5th place.
We were talking about Cinderellas.
Duke
it's
might
weird
be
to say Duke is a Cinderella.
When it comes, I mean, yeah, they are.
Comes to men's cross, Cinderella story there.
I am, for people listening to podcasts now or in the future or in the past, I'm a big Duke Blue Devils basketball fan. I thought they were good at basketball in the 90s, and I chose them as a kid. I had a hat, became a fan, Elton Brand era. And then I got older, get into middle school and high school, and I started telling my friends I'm a Duke fan, and then I realized
People don't like that.
I chose poorly because I chose.
And people stop talking.
Yeah, I chose being a Yankees fan. I chose being a Cowboys fan. Like, and I realized like, oh, I chose
And then you
not
applied.
the cool, like the
Yeah.
the blue collar cool school. I should have chose Villanova, but I chose Duke.
Yeah. And then you applied to Disney. Didn't hear back.
Yeah, I played Disney back. It's all
Series
going
of
downhill, yeah.
unfortunate incidents for Gordon. Okay. So now we're ready for the next region. Midwest. So we'll start first with the women. Oklahoma State was favored heavily. They win it 58 points over Northwestern, who had 88. Bradley third for the women with 99. Olivia Howell from Illinois won it individually, and then Natalie Cook and Taylor Rowe were right behind in second and third.
Yeah, looking at the results, Oklahoma State only beating Northwestern by 30 points. You're like, wait, what's Oklahoma State?
They didn't run everybody.
They didn't try.
They didn't run everybody, right?
Yeah, that's what I meant by didn't
Yeah,
try. They are focusing on nationals, which makes sense. When you're one of the best teams, you're able to cruise through an easy regional, and that's exactly what they did. So I was impressed with Oklahoma State just getting the job
who wasn't
done.
there for them? I'm looking at the roster, their list right there.
Their Kenyan athlete. I forget her name.
So they went Cook, Rowe, Galvadite, Hentman.
Their number
Auerbach,
3 runner didn't run.
Damn you. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Did Northwestern surprise you at all?
No, I had them top 2. It's a weaker region. It was really Oklahoma State and everybody else. Someone had to take it, and Northwestern is the team that got it. Wasn't that surprised.
All right. So there's no other takeaways on this one?
No, I think we should talk a little bit about
Jep Karui was the one that didn't run. For Oklahoma State, Jep Karui didn't run.
that's
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I think it's kind of cool looking at these men's results, though. So Tulsa puts their top 4 in the top 6,
Mm-hmm.
and they tie Oklahoma State, but win on tiebreaker. It's, you just look at this result, and you're like, damn, Tulsa looks good. 3, 4, 5, 6. They're 5th out there and 31st, but Isai Rodriguez getting the win.
It's a good sign for
Alex
Tulsa.
Mayer finishing 12th. They definitely were chilling. Victor Schutzma, who had a bad Big 12s, is their number 2 runner. Even though it's weird, I really like seeing Alex Mayer finishing 12th. I love seeing Rory Leonard just chilling with Alex Mayer. I love seeing Isai Rodriguez winning.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird way where seeing certain people on Oklahoma State doing well and certain people in Oklahoma State chilling, it makes me think they're ready to go for nationals. I like this. Tulsa is a good team. Tulsa is a top 7 team, so very impressed here. Iowa State, that's going to be the one to watch. They might not make the meet. Even though they got third, they needed Oklahoma State to chill even more. It didn't happen, so we'll have to wait and see on Iowa State. But very impressed with what Oklahoma State did. It's a weird way to be impressed with a 12th place finish for Alex Mayer, but clearly it shows he is saving it all for nationals.
So it didn't matter because they went 1-2, but we have another case of the bad tiebreaker here. Just going to say it. Look at how much better Oklahoma State's 6 runner was compared to
but look how much better
Tulsa. And I know Dave Smith likes the tiebreaker how it is, because I remember the first time I went on the rant about it, he was on the side of the traditional
hold
tiebreaker.
on. You look at that result, though, and you see Tulsa 3rd, Tulsa 4th, Tulsa 5th, Tulsa 6th, and you're like, that team deserves to lose Oklahoma State? No. This is living proof that you should do tiebreaker head-to-head, 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2, 3 versus 3, 4 versus 4, and not the 6th runner. It's stupid.
No, you're arguing with addition. They added up to the same number. It doesn't matter what combination they were. It doesn't matter that it was 3, 4, 5 versus 1, 7, 12. You added up to the same number.
When you look at the results, when
6
you
runners
watch
for the
this race
tiebreaker.
and you see
Something.
4 Tulsa men come in the top 6, you're thinking, Oklahoma State looks better because their 6th runner who doesn't score
No, their top
finished 12th or 88th.
Their first 5 are the same because I understand addition, and it doesn't matter what order they come in. It's real simple. I'm just saying 6 runners should be the tiebreaker. That being said, not taking anything away from Tulsa, good run. Isai Rodriguez, is this going to be one of those results where we're like, oh man, regionals is when you round it into shape, or are we going to say that was a little bit of fool's gold? Because Gordon, my saying, You've heard me say this for a while now.
What's your saying?
You don't win the national championship at regionals, but you can lose it.
Can you tie?
It depends if your six runner is really good or not, and they
'Cause
ignore
they
your
tied
six
it.
runner.
They tied.
No, I just meant with not. This doesn't really necessarily pertain to Rodriguez, but this isn't like a guarantee that he's going to be Isai Rodriguez from 2018. But I think it's a decent sign, right? That he's healthy and ready to roll at home.
You know what I'm going to say? You know how I've been saying, like, Stanford has 3 Alex Mayers.
Oh, is Isai Rodriguez?
BYU has 2. NAU has 2. I think Oklahoma State now has 2 Alex Mayers. They have the Alex Mayer, and then they have Isai Rodriguez.
Let me just say this, though. Maybe Alex Mayer is just an Isai Rodriguez from before.
Whoa.
Because Isai Rodriguez was, what, 4th?
Yeah, freshman, yeah.
I guess you could go back, though, in time and say, are they all Colby Lowe's?
So they have the OG Alex Mayer.
Or are they German Fernandez?
They have
You just keep going back. Shadrach Kipchirchir. But I feel like Isai Rodriguez has done enough. He's his own guy. He's not another Alex Mayer. Alex Mayer might have been an Isai Rodriguez.
So maybe Alex Mayer is Isai Rodriguez, and Isai Rodriguez is Alex Mayer.
But now we have both of them. Yeah, in any event.
They were switched at birth. That's what could probably happen.
He's had an interesting career. So Iowa State, you think's out?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll get more to the at-larges later. Anything else in the Midwest before we move on?
Nope.
Okay.
Except for wind. Right? Always windy.
Always windy. Without fail, it is windy. All right. So now this is where we're going to diverge a little bit, because for Mountain and West, we don't have the men's results in. So we're going to go women from the Mountain, women from the West, and then do we have all the info in to make a projection?
Yeah.
For the women's at large? All right.
I think so.
So we're going to go in a little bit of a different direction here, Cole.
I might need you to lead recapping the West and the Mountain for me.
Yeah.
You can react to NAU losing or tying Utah or whatever, or losing.
Oh, I can look at that tiebreaker.
Yeah, look at that tiebreaker. Freak out about that. But I'm going to go in and I'm going to double check my work.
Interesting. So.
Okay. So you talk.
Thanks for giving me permission to talk on
it.
Wait,
hold on. Okay, talk. Now you can talk.
All right, go for it, Kevin.
Yeah.
Thanks. Can you turn Gordon's mic off, Colt? Is that possible?
Definitely. We can totally do that.
New Mexico 56, Utah 103, NAU 103, Colorado State 121. Colorado being down in 5th at 135. You don't see that often. I think that's pretty surprising. Also BYU 144, Utah Valley 164. Utah Valley's number 1. Everyone Kemboy won the race, little less than 10 seconds ahead of Elise Stearns. But I just think we got another example here of New Mexico's strength with only 56 points, even though it was just a dress rehearsal. And I think a lot of these teams were very comfortable in their position heading into the meet, and they know that they didn't need to necessarily get that crazy low score. But New Mexico, nonetheless, took care of business. Utah moved up, looks like 2 spots over the final kilometer there. NAU moved back 1, and Colorado State moved back 1 to get that number 2 spot. I'm trying to see where their 6th runner finished. So Utah's 6th went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Their 6th was 68, I believe. NAU's 1, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I'm missing somebody, this is going to be really close. Not even seeing the 6th on here. Where are we? Where are we at with the 6th runner? Each results page is different. Difficult to track down. Nonetheless, they're all going to get in. Let's go to the men's side of things. Yeah, pull up the men's side of things. Oh, still running. Okay, so let's go to West.
Can I say this, Kevin?
No.
You're doing great.
This is my segment.
You're doing great.
Yeah,
yeah.
I was just reading results.
You're doing fucking great.
There's certain results pages that lend themselves to do you just cuss for no reason? That's ridiculous. There's certain results pages that lend themselves to quick information more than others. But yeah, West, let's go to West women. Stanford 76 for the victory. Oregon 96. So those two automatically qualify. Washington third with 114. Then Oregon State and Cal Baptist both with 150. Individually, Kaylee Mitchell of Oregon State wins it. But Stanford gets it. Did you have Stanford ranked 1? Do you have them projected to win this? Yeah. Okay. So that held form. I think people felt good about Oregon making it through as well too. So I don't think that one was. I don't think we have too much there. I think the teams that are. Does anybody drop out that you thought was going to be in there on the West women's side?
I don't know. I'm not paying attention to you right now. I'm double checking.
I'm gonna go back
qualifiers and
going back and looking.
I have the qualifiers.
Women's at large. You had Washington getting in out of there, and then ranked. Let's see, what other ranked West teams did you have? Oregon, Stanford, as well. Okay, so now I think we want to try to get the 13.
Yes.
At-large team. So I went through for the women. Again,
Yes.
We're going to have to go back for the men because they're still running in the West and in the Mountain right now. So you want to do these one by one, Gordon? So we're basically naming what teams 14 through 31.
Yeah. So we went through all the. That's the wrong. Wrong team, but we're working on it. All right, we're gonna do our best. We're gonna have some potential graphics explaining our teams coming through. But let's just get right into it. The first team going as an at-large is an obvious team. It's NAU women. They get third in their region by a tiebreaker. They have been dominating everywhere. They potentially might podium. They have the most wins. They're the first team in. Let me find out how many wins they have. So they had 13 wins. 13 wins.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
They get in with 13 wins. After NAU, next team in is Michigan. And I'll say, I think we're going to have a run in the Great Lakes because Michigan gets in with 5 wins. They go. Michigan State.
Sparty.
So Michigan and Michigan State, they go in together. They go because they had also 7 wins. So Michigan State are in. You know what? We're going to keep going in the Great Lakes because after Michigan State, it's the Badgers of Wisconsin. They're getting in with 7 wins as well. It's the 5th team out of the Great Lakes to make the meet. Very impressive. And Wisconsin gets in. And I'm thinking, all right, that's it. There's no more. There's no more from the Great Lakes.
It's all full.
I thought Toledo needed to run better. I really did. I thought Toledo needed to have a better meet, but they didn't. They got 6th in their region, and they are going to national championships. The Toledo women, they get in with 7 wins as well. So, to recap, you get NAU get in on the mountain, and then you have a run of Great Lakes with Michigan, Michigan State, Wisconsin, Toledo.
Unofficially. But you feel good about these ones.
This is so official.
Okay.
This is so official. You have any thoughts?
No, I mean, obviously we thought NAU would get in probably automatically based on how they're running. I think they're still a podium contender. And once again, you see Great Lakes and Mountain. I'm assuming the next group is going to have a lot of Mountain in it.
Yeah.
They dominate the at-large conversation.
I am surprised Toledo is the 5th team in right away out of the top 13. So, yeah, 1 Mountain team, 4 from the Great Lakes. And now we move out to the West. The Washington Huskies, they get in. They are the next team in. Washington had 6 wins, so they're going to the dance. They're the 6th team in at large. Going in right behind Washington is Colorado State, who also had 6 wins. So Colorado State going in, and now we're going to have a run on the mountain because Colorado State is going in. Then after Colorado State, the next team that finished at the mountain region is going in Colorado. And then BYU, and then Utah Valley, which is crazy. So that's 7 mountain teams getting in. So we have NAU 1 getting in, then Michigan, Michigan State, Wisconsin, Toledo, then Washington, Colorado State, Colorado, BYU, Utah Valley. Those are our top 10. 3 teams left. Right now, there's been no surprises. I am surprised Toledo got in as the 6th team in the Great Lakes. I am kind of still surprised Utah Valley got in as the 7th team in the mountain. It's like, what about all these other regionals? Like, they're all coming from the mountain and Great Lakes. It seems unfair.
Yeah, but it's almost serving as like a pre-regional or a pre-national championship. Yeah. Great Lakes and Mountain just eliminate a couple teams there. So 3 left.
3 left.
Where are we headed now?
We're heading or push.
Oh, interesting.
So for people who don't know, a push is when a team qualifies with no points or not enough points because they didn't do well during the regular season, but they beat a good team at their region.
Yeah.
And that good team at the region had a lot of points. And it says, hey, we won't take you if you take along a buddy. And that is Cal Baptist taking along for the ride Oregon State. So Cal Baptist had a bunch of points. Cal Baptist had 5 points. The most points among potential at-large teams remaining. And because they lost to Oregon State, they get to push in Oregon State.
And they both had 150 points today.
And they both had 150 points. So not only are they tie in the region, they go to nationals together.
It's only fitting.
They're probably going to stay at the same hotel, same team bus, same pre-meet dinner, the Olive Garden.
That's funny.
Where Cal Baptist and Oregon State get next to each other.
So if those were reversed, nothing would have changed?
No, if those are reversed, Oregon State's not going to the meet.
Wow.
So if the tiebreaker was reversed, if they went by your tiebreaker,
well, I don't know who was 6.
I don't know.
I know
if they went by your tiebreaker, Oregon State would be at home right now.
Maybe. I don't know who had the best 6. But anyway, I think that was
Oregon
crazy.
State. If they don't tie Cal Baptist, they don't go to the meet. But because they tied Cal Baptist and they win the tiebreaker, they're going. That's crazy to think about it. It came down to a tiebreaker. Is why Oregon State, as of right now, is the 11th team in, with Cal Baptist being the 12th team in.
Which leaves us with 1 team.
1 team. And it's not really dramatic because there wasn't many other teams left with points.
How many points does this team have?
This team had 3 points. Mm-hmm. The next best team had 1 point. It's Virginia. So it was almost Utah State and make it an 8th mountain team. But no, it's Virginia. Virginia gets in with 3 points. That is your top 31. Man, a tiebreaker is why Oregon State is going to nationals. That's wild.
Do you have first team out or first couple teams out? Do you know who it was?
Yeah, Utah State was the first team out.
Okay.
Utah State, first team out.
So which ranked teams missed out on here? Utah State.
Utah State, my 22nd ranked team, missed out. Florida State got in. Wisconsin got in. Yeah. So Utah State was my only ranked team that did not make the meet. They were ranked 22nd.
Harvard got in?
Harvard got in.
Yeah. Wow.
Man, that was fun.
Yeah, so I'm looking. That Oregon State thing is wild. That is crazy. On the women's side of things, did any of the regional results change your opinion about what's going to happen for the podium?
It gave me more confidence in NC State because their ACC performance, you're like, whoa, if this happens to them in ACC, so what's going to happen when they go up against New Mexico and Alabama and NAU and Oklahoma State? But they kind of righted their ship in time. So I got more confidence in NC State. I got confidence in the Oklahoma State women because, they got the job done. They look like they're chilling. Dave Smith clearly knows what he's doing. New Mexico. I mean, I guess I lost a little bit of confidence in maybe Alabama. Yeah, they had a great 4, but that 4 is kind of misleading because they're probably running together as a pack. The 5th, which is so far away. I kind of lost a little bit of thought in Alabama potentially being a surprise upset.
Mm-hmm. So I think I gained a little bit of confidence in New Mexico just because we know how tough that region is, and to put up 56 to Utah's 103. I mean, NAU had 103 as well too, but that's pretty solid, and the gap was small again for New Mexico, and it's just gonna be the question of can they get that pack running in the teens, right? as opposed to in the 20s. I think that's going to be the big question for them too. But and then Oklahoma State, we don't know because Jeb Crew didn't run. And you combine that with the general uncertainty around regionals. I don't know if we learned much about them.
I will say it's kind of fun. I look at like points. BYU had 23 points because they didn't run well at the region. They got 6 in the region. So it took a while for them to get selected.
Yeah.
But because the longer it takes for them to get selected, the more people that are in the meet that they have wins over.
Yeah.
And so it's just funny seeing BYU women.
It's an all-time number,
being
I think.
the 27th team in with 23 points.
Yeah. The chat's asking about individual qualifiers. Do you have a read on individual qualifiers for the women?
I do not have a read, but I can tell you the rules.
Mm-hmm.
So the rules are...
Parker Valby gets in.
Parker Valby's in.
Okay.
The rules are top 4 individuals who are not on a team.
Mm-hmm.
However, you have to have finished in the top 25 in your race.
So top 4 individuals on non-qualifying teams who finished in the top 25
in the race. Now...
So there you go.
But then they add 2 more runners who finish 5th in one of the regions or 6th.
Oh, as a at-large individual.
It's an at-large.
Yeah.
But the way to decide that is based off place finish. So, like, if you finish 12th, if you're the 5th individual and finish 12th in one region, there's another 5th individual who finished 11th. They'll take the 11th runner.
Yeah. How confident are you in these 31?
Pretty confident.
Okay. Because I know there's some years where it's just a bit of a mess at the end.
Yeah.
This one you feel good about?
If I'm wrong, I feel bad for Oregon State.
That would be
where I'm wrong.
Okay.
But I don't think I'm wrong.
Okay.
If they did the tiebreaker right, if I put in the right team, beat the right team.
What do you mean if they did the tiebreaker right? Oh, like the getting it over Cal Baptist?
Yeah. That's 100%. They're 100% over Cal Baptist. Like, that's not...
Well, they're one. This results page is tough.
No, go back up. I can show you how. Go to compiled.
Yeah, that wasn't loading before.
There you go.
No, but this is the team score
Yeah,
throughout.
but...
It's their team score throughout. That's what I'm saying. This is what I was...
Yeah, okay, you're right. Right. Oh, here we go. No,
that doesn't help either. I mean, watch this. Let's just go this. Let's go Oregon.
We're trying to make sure the timer tied the breaker correctly.
So Oregon State's number 1 was 1.
Okay. Advantage Oregon State.
1, not 8, 20.
Yeah. So
yeah, write these down.
Yeah, no, it's good. They beat Cal Baptist. If they're 1, 2, 3, all beat Cal Baptist is 1, 2, 3, then they're in.
I know, but I'm not looking up Cal Baptist yet.
Because that's who it's supposed to see who they beat.
I know. I haven't searched for them yet. They could be in here. 55 and 66. Let me just look this up. I'm just double checking.
This is a great podcast.
This is great. Well, we have time before.
Do we have an ad read? I don't have an ad.
Yeah, you want to do it?
Girder isn't sponsoring us anymore.
CB.
I didn't do enough. I didn't move enough merch.
I don't think so. I have to talk to you about that. They went 5. Let's see.
This is actually big because I'm going off of the timer deciding who was number 1.
Yeah, and I think they're right. 26. Yeah, I think they're right.
Okay. Yeah, 100%. Because if they're 20, then yeah.
38.
Yep. They got 3
got
wins.
it.
Yeah. So I went from 99.4 to 99.7.
39.
You can stop doing it. It's the first to 3.
I know. I want to see what their 6 was God. I want to see how much they like the new tiebreaker.
Oh yeah, because if there's...
So then their 6th was 73. I need to go back and look at what Oregon State's was. I didn't write down their 6 because they don't count
and tiebreakers. I really hope the national title is decided on a tiebreaker.
66.
And you're going to go nuts.
Oh, Oregon. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Yeah, I would. That'd be ridiculous. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 138. Yeah, if it was my tiebreaker, Cal Baptist would have finished ahead, and Oregon State wouldn't have been in the meet.
Oh, so Oregon State, yeah. So
Oregon State likes the current tiebreaker. And who was the first one out?
So do you think
Utah State?
Utah State, yeah.
Doesn't. I mean, assuming they would have been.
Yeah, because they would have got it. But here's my question then for you. At the meet, when we go there to Stillwater, are you going to be calling Oregon State frauds the entire time because they're in on a fake tiebreaker?
The rules are the rules.
You're going to find their 6th runner and be like,
What's up?
What's up?
The rules are the rules. I don't begrudge them. I think the rules should be different, but they're in fair and square. Everybody knew the rules before the race started. So no, I will not be doing that. Any other questions or comments in the chat? We'll get to those now because we have another 5 minutes or so before the men?
Yeah, we're waiting on
West and Mountain.
Yeah, West and Mountain, because I love doing play-by-play cross-country watching results, but I tried doing that for like the Bill Dillinger back in September, and you got really upset about that.
I didn't get really upset. I just said it was a terrible idea for a podcast.
That's upset.
Well, because you have 100 people
voice.
Watching right now. I raise my voice all the time. It's part of how you do a podcast. You know, we have 100 people watching right now, but then thousands and thousands of people will watch later on or listen later on, and they don't need to know the TikTok of everything. Do we know? I mean, do we want to run through we already talked about all the autos on the men's side. We don't need to talk about the autos anymore, right?
Yeah, no, we don't need to talk about the autos. I mean, again, regionals is all about finding out the 27th to 31, right? Because you know if you're good, you're going to make the meet unless you just, for some reason, decide to like not run or something.
I'm worried if we have a situation, I know this has happened in the past, where like the results go down and then we're just here for a while.
Why would the results go?
Because it just always happens. There's always one results page that's not uploading. Because we're 24 minutes into the men's 10K, it looks like, at West.
Okay. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to go back through these results, and I'm going to double-check the men. So when we input the West and the Mountain region results, we'll be good to go right away. So with that being said, it's now time for the Kevin Sully 2-minute report.
The 2-minute report?
On whatever you want to talk about.
Whatever I want to talk about?
Because I got to update the projections.
All right, listen, guys.
Go.
We're going to go to Colt. Colt, what do you got? Give me your best 2 minutes.
Oh, gosh. What do we... Give me a topic. I've been running tech over here.
Oh, how's tech been going? Good?
Well, I got kicked out mid-show. I don't think the show went down. We're good.
Yeah, no one said the show went down, so that's solid. So Gordon said last show, and he tweeted it, that shorts and sweats weather is different than sweatshirt and shorts weather.
He did say that.
He preferred one or the other. So I don't have it on right now, but I brought a sweatshirt today to wear with shorts just to counterbalance that. But then I realized you guys, there's a desk here, so you don't see the shorts. So the bit was all off, but it's starting to storm here. So I don't know what what that's going to do to my wardrobe. But anyway, people are talking about the tiebreaker again. I'm not going to rehash it. I've been down that road. People know where I stand. People know where you stand. It should be the 6 runner. If it's not going to be the 6 runner, it should be total time. Recounting the top 5 again is just, again, retabulating results that we already had to get the original number. It does not make any sense. It's like adding up who has won the most quarters in a basketball game instead of going to overtime.
It is not at all that.
Hey, stay over there. This is my 2 minutes. It 100% is that. You're just recreating the same numbers again.
Nope.
It doesn't matter if you're 1 to beat. They're 1. It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. I get doing it. Someone told me one time a couple years ago when I first got mad about this that it's done because not all teams are able to field like 6 runners. Like if you had a bunch of small schools there, I get it. If like that's the situation, all right, that's fine. That's not the case in NCAA cross country. They have plenty of runners. Nobody's short on runners at this stage.
You don't.
Yeah. Well.
Sorry, I'm chiming into your 2 minutes.
Yeah, why don't you stay over there and calculate some stuff?
I'm calculating. I'm double-checking my work.
Yeah. So back in the day when we did this show, there'd be like 3 other people here, and Gordon would just be off the side double-checking his work and would get really mad if you went to him for anything, like any little thing. Like, hey, how'd New Mexico's 3rd look? Good, stop. You can't talk to me. And then we'd do it. We kept going back to him just to bother Gordon. But now it's just you and I here alone. It's tough to be a one-man band.
See, now you know how I feel when I do the podcast solo. When you're out sick.
Like I've never done it solo?
No, you have.
I've definitely done it solo.
Okay, I have confirmed the 7 of the 9 regions.
Great.
So your 2-minute segment, you can wrap it up.
Okay, well then I'm going to read this live update. Kurt, I'm counting on him being accurate. Mountain looks like this at 5.3K, NAU, BYU, Colorado, Montana State, then Air Force.
Well, I have the 9K update, and right now it's NAU, BYU, Air Force, Colorado.
Was it NAU, BYU, Air Force, Colorado? Okay, so Air Force moved up a couple spots.
Who's running for NAU? So they have
Bosley,
Young, Ryan Rath, Santiago Prosser, Brody Hasty, Colin Solomon. Looks like George Kusha isn't running.
Saving him for nationals?
I guess so. Colin Salmon right now is their 6th runner.
How they looking in the West? You get anything from the West?
So West, they're through 9K. It's Stanford, Gonzaga.
That's a surprise.
Shouldn't tap on the desk, but Gonzaga running well. Washington, Boise State, Oregon, Cal Baptist, and Portland all the way down in 7th.
Things could get tricky here.
I had Portland getting 3rd in this region.
Yeah. That's a surprise for sure.
That's a surprise. We'll see what happens.
All right.
Stanford, though, they're not running Cole Sprout, it looks like.
So they got Hicks and Robinson in there, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're, that's what's good. When you're a good team, you can do these types of things. You can, the individual national champion didn't run at regionals, which is, when you think about it, that seems like unfair. When what's her name won? Whitney
Orton?
Whitney Orton?
Yeah.
Whitney Orton. Courtney Wayman, Whitney Orton, getting the W's, the C's, I get confused. Anyway. All right, so yeah, we're through 9K in the West. We're through 9K in the Mountain. We're about 1K away from knowing the 13 teams. We can't tell you anything now because we can't be like, all right, here are the teams.
We're in a dead zone right now.
Yeah, we're in a dead zone.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can do.
It's a black box right now in NCAA men's cross country. Well, you do know the auto teams that have made it.
We know the auto teams, but that's not why we do the podcast.
We do the podcast for the at-large teams.
Yes.
That's why we do the podcast.
That's why we do the podcast.
That's why we get up early.
This is our Super Bowl podcast. I tried telling you that 2 days ago, and you were like, no, it's not. I was like, yeah, it is. This is the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl's a little strong.
What is our Super Bowl podcast?
Oh.
After day 1 of Worlds?
Worlds, yeah.
When I talked about Bolt?
Yeah. So our Super Bowl's already passed.
Okay.
That was like a World Cup podcast.
We should do a Super Bowl podcast.
It's a great idea.
On Sunday.
Yeah.
If the Eagles are in it?
Why would we do that?
Because I'm a big Eagles fan.
Oh, okay. I'm
They're
sure
going undefeated, man. Devin Allen, we all get be on a Devin Allen beat. Devin Allen at the Super Bowl? That's a great podcast.
If he's
Do you think I can get credentialed?
No. We should.
I could go to Media Row and be like, I need to interview Devin Allen for
just only ask about track.
My track and field website.
Just be like, hey, that false start sucked, right?
Did you know that the Eagles, not only do they have Devin Allen, but they signed a player whose name is a track and field event? Can you guess his name?
Oh, Marathon Jones?
No. Keep going. His name is a track and field event.
Hurdle Jones.
Nope.
I don't know.
Keep guessing. Come on.
Steeple.
Nope. Who named their child Steeple?
Me? Maybe? You don't know the names of all my kids?
Or who named their kid Marathon?
Wait, it's the name of an event?
Yes.
Miles.
No. That's a good one, though, but it's not.
Oh.
There is a Miles Sanders. So they do have a mile. So they have 2 track events. They have Miles, and then they have this other track event.
Okay, it's not going to be hurdles.
Nope.
Javelin. Shot. Javelin?
Javelin
Jones?
Javelin Goudry or something like that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So they got 2 track events and a hurdler. The Philadelphia Eagles are basically
all right.
World Athletics.
That was great in killing time. I will promise you this. We will do, if you want to do a podcast, we will do one in the Super Bowl if the Eagles make it and if Devin Allen's active.
On the roster.
And we'll do like a live watch party and we'll only talk about what Devin Allen is doing.
Like he's standing. He's
saying like,
going.
hey, I think we got Devin Allen. He's warming up. Oh, they overthrew it to the sideline and he caught it. Oh, he's getting in for a kick return.
I like that.
I will 100% do it if he's suited up. What are the chances that he would be suited up for the Super Bowl? Okay, let's just say the odds of the Eagles making the Super Bowl, I don't know what it is. Let's say 20%.
So they need injuries for him to be suited up.
Okay, but that happens.
He's like their 6th wide receiver. So they need like 2 wide receiver injuries.
Okay. I'm looking at 538s, see if they have
they're
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They're 8-0, bro.
19% to win the Super Bowl.
Yes.
So they don't have to make the Super Bowl.
But they
have 6-7% chance to have a first round bye. Okay, so we just need Allen out there.
We need Allen. Look, we're already halfway there.
That'll be our Super Bowl podcast.
I'm excited. And we're talking about Javelin, Goudry, and Miles Sanders, and talk about what can Miles run a mile in, what can Javelin throw a javelin in.
There'll be no football analysis at all. It'll only be track.
It's going to be great.
It'll be only
it's my Philadelphia Eagles. All right, we have results coming in on the Mountain. NAU winning 43 points to BYU's 54. Colorado 97, Air Force 104, Montana
Whoa.
Montana State 123, Colorado State 132, Utah State 198. Let's talk about this NAU BYU thing. Now, obviously, it means absolutely nothing. We
Nope.
know that because
We've done
all
this
these
before.
runners know that this means nothing. But it means nothing, but it also kind of means something that NAU, was formidable. I mean,
Yeah.
they got blown out by BYU at Nuttycombe. This is a good sign. Obviously, it doesn't, I guess you can look at it that BYU clearly ran conservative. You could say that Ryan Raff ran really well for NAU, so that helped them. Brody Hasty ran all right. You look at NAU's top 5, it was Nico, Bosley, Raff, Hasty, then Prosser was their 5th. Colin Salmon was their 6th runner. The more and more you watch this now, this is Colin Salmon's first 10K.
Yeah.
You got to look at this as Colin Salmon's not going to be a X factor for NAU. It's going to be on whether or not Santiago Prosser and Ryan Raff can have
Or
incredible
Kusha
days.
can get in there.
Kusha, but
Yeah. Listen, I've watched enough of these mountain region races
know
over the
what I mean.
past
Yeah.
5-10 years. You take them, you look at them, you crumple them up, and you throw them in the trash. Mike Smith knows what he's doing. Ed Eyestone knows what he's doing. Mark Wetmore knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
These guys, they're experienced. I've fallen for this before, not just team-wise, but individually as well, too. That being said, Big Race Brandon comes in 5th for BYU. He would be, if he can run like he did a couple years ago, I think that's an interesting combo there to pair with, an interesting addition to pair with their guys that they have running up front. But, yeah, not surprised by any of this. I'm guessing we're going to get a bunch of teams in for the mountain as well.
yeah. I'm tabulating. Because I remember in 2019 when NAU was dominating the year they lost to BYU, NAU went 1, 2, 3 in the region.
Beamish
Beamish broke
balled
away,
on this one.
dominated.
And then you're like, he's going to crush. And then he went to NCAAs and ran poorly.
Yeah, so can't take much from it.
Okay.
It's like a preseason race, right?
Do you have the West?
Oh, we should bring him up.
There you go.
What do we got here?
This is final. Gonzaga gets 2nd behind Stanford. Upset. Washington 3rd. Oregon 4th. Cal Baptist 5th. Boise 6th. Portland 7. Fay wins it ahead of Benfeld. Charles Hicks is 3rd.
I had Gonzaga finishing 6th in this region. That is an insane run for
you
Gonzaga.
almost flipped them in because you had Portland, 2nd or 3rd?
I had them 3rd.
Yeah. They almost flipped spots.
This is unreal.
Gordon is tabulating now.
Portland might not make the meet.
Gordon is tabulating.
That's 7th. Just texting their coach about how many teams out the West.
Uh-oh. Colt has texted me. Let's see.
Okay. What's going on?
Okay. Nothing. No, it's not that serious.
Okay.
Just Gordon's performance review. I just wanted to let Kevin know.
Yeah.
Did I do something?
No, you're fine.
Does it have to do with me?
When are we gonna? When can we do it?
No, it's not.
No, it's about the bonus.
It's out of
pod.
show.
It's about the bonus pod. When can we do it then?
We can talk after the show.
We'll talk after the show.
I want to figure this
Why
out.
are you throwing this wrench at us, Colt, in the middle of
Ruin my rhythm.
finding out? Yeah, we're all
I'm gonna
freaking
go all
out now.
Christian Bale. You walking through my set, Colt.
God dang it. Colt, what are you doing?
I'm a method podcaster. I need to be in the element at all times, and now I'm thinking about the schedule.
Okay.
The bonus pod will be worth it. Just know that when it happens.
Yeah, well, it's good. You did a lot of prep for it.
I know. That's why I kind of wanted to do it today. But also,
We'll figure it out.
I understand.
We'll
All
make
right.
it happen. All right.
Gordon, are you ready to? Did you put him in the sheet for Colt?
I did.
Okay.
But I'm confident. I think this is wild. I'll tell you that though, because this is not the results I expected.
Yeah, and you have Gonzaga throwing a wrench into things.
There's a lot of good teams I have ranked that did not make it.
Mostly because of Gonzaga?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonzaga screwed everything up.
Okay.
Which is great for Gonzaga. Congrats to Gonzaga for the record.
Well done.
But it got real. It got real quick. All right, so we have the list. We'll start with, the top teams coming in. First 5 or 6 selected. It makes sense. So first team in with 12 points is Wake Forest. They were 3rd in their region. They're going in. Second team is Colorado. Then Air Force, and then NC State. So Colorado had 11 wins. Air Force had 14 wins. But Colorado beat Air Force, so that's why they go in after. And then NC State had 6 wins.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not dealing with any tiebreakers right now. Still, all the teams with the most of the wins are getting through. Next team to get in was based on tiebreaker. A lot of tiebreakers. Princeton. I did mention I thought they needed to be top 2 to get in.
And they ran like it too.
They ran like it.
Yeah.
They got third, but they still get in on tiebreaker. Princeton had 4 wins, so they were tiebreakered against Alabama and Washington. And they win the tiebreaker, so they're in.
All right. And then behind them?
The tiebreaker was common opponents. Based on like beating Ole Miss, Navy, Pittsburgh, and Kentucky. Now, I will say this. This program, there may be a common opponent who finished like 30th in a race that we don't know about that could affect this tiebreaker. But at the end of the day, it's not going to matter because the teams they were tiebreaked with, Princeton was tied with Alabama and Washington. The next 2 teams in are Alabama and Washington.
Okay.
So there's a little bit of unknown here on the tiebreakers, but Alabama still gets in even though they got third. Washington gets in even though they got third. So all the third place finishers in the Mid-Atlantic, in the South, and in the West are going in. So nothing too crazy.
Yeah, that's through 7, right?
Yeah, but now
Okay.
we're getting a little crazy. Trying to draw us out for dramatic effect.
No, we're already 8 minutes over, so keep going.
Okay.
And the studio's double booked. So.
Studio's the book. Oh, that's the news you got? Okay.
Yeah.
The Oregon Ducks, the team I had finishing second in the region, did not run as well, but they still get in. They're my 8th team in. Oregon gets in with, they had 6 points. So Oregon gets in. They were the 4th team in the West. They're going. Following Oregon, the next best team had 3 points. That was Michigan. Following Michigan, we're going back to... Okay. Now this is when it gets weird because there are a lot of there are 6 teams tied with 2 points. Iowa State, Duke, Montana State, Colorado State, Butler, and Providence are all tied with 2 points. Based on tiebreakers, Montana State is the one that gets in. Then once Montana State gets in, that opens the door for a team like Utah State. And a team like, hold on.
No, you had Montana State, Colorado State, right?
Yeah, sorry. Colorado State beat Utah State. So you got to skip, you have to ignore Utah State. Colorado State gets in. Basically, all right, sorry, I'm overcomplicating it. I should just announce the list, but it's not as fun. Okay, so Michigan gets in. They're the number 9 team in. Then there's a big tiebreaker for the 10th spot.
Yeah.
Montana State wins that tiebreaker. And because Montana State wins that tiebreaker, the dam's open for the Mountain region. Because now that Montana State's in, that allows Colorado State to get in at 11. That allows Utah State to get in at 12.
Which leaves us just with 1 spot.
Yeah. And it's on a tiebreaker.
Another one.
There are 2 teams.
Oof.
The 2 teams they're tied with 3 points each. Duke and Butler. Which was NCAA championship.
Oh, yeah.
Basketball game.
Yeah.
Duke and Butler, remember that?
Yeah, Gordon
Hayward.
Half-court shot. Almost went in.
Didn't go in?
But this time...
It goes in.
It looks like Butler doesn't.
Gets it. They get redemption for the national championship. They lose when they lost to Duke. Butler wins the tiebreaker over Duke. They did not race head-to-head, so they had to break the tie on common opponents. But common opponents was tied, so they had to break the tie based on highest place at their region. And Butler finished higher at the Great Lakes than Duke did in the Southeast. So Butler is in. First team out was Duke. I said Duke almost made it. Remember when I was saying like Duke might make it?
How confident are you in these ones?
98.4.
98.4% confidence. I mean, Gonzaga being there
Gonzaga
May.
screwed it all up.
And then a lot of tiebreakers in
The
there, too.
tiebreakers, so there's two big tiebreakers that we have to consider.
Mm-hmm.
We had to break a tiebreaker between, where is it?
Break a tie.
Yeah, we had to break a tie between Iowa State, Duke, Montana State, Colorado State. No, wait, excuse me, I miscorrect. We had to break a tie between Duke, Montana State, Colorado State, and Butler. And at the end of the day, that tiebreaker, it's okay because all those teams get in except for Duke. So that tiebreaker doesn't really. But if you could say if Butler wins that tiebreaker, maybe then all of a sudden there's a run on a different team and then Duke gets in or something like that. But the last four teams, Montana State, Colorado State, Utah State, and Butler, are all in based on tiebreakers. With the last one being in on the crucial tiebreaker of Butler versus Duke.
Yeah.
When common opponents is used, that's when the system can be a little confusing because a common opponent, you have to we're assuming there's a common opponent, but really those were B teams that they were racing against, and that doesn't count as a common opponent. So it's not 100%, but right now we have Montana State 10, Colorado State 11, Utah State 12, and Butler 13.
So we got to wrap here, but Kurt wants to know how close was Gordon to getting 56 teams correct?
I don't remember my.
We
have to
have
go
them
back.
on there, yeah.
You have to go back.
Do you want to compare it real quick? You have them all right here.
Okay, yeah.
NC State,
Yeah, they got in.
Oklahoma State,
Yeah, come on.
New Mexico,
They got in.
Alabama,
Yeah, they all
NAU,
got in.
Georgetown,
Yes.
Stanford,
Yep.
Notre Dame,
Yep.
Oregon,
Yep.
North Carolina, Providence,
Yeah, they got in.
Michigan,
Yep.
Syracuse,
Yep. I mean, everyone got in the top 25 except for Utah State, so that's fine. So I got all those right.
Florida
I got
State.
Arkansas, Princeton, Northwestern right. Yeah.
Okay. Colorado,
Yep,
Utah,
yep,
BYU,
yep, yep.
Utah Valley,
Yep.
Michigan State,
Yep.
Wisconsin,
Yep.
Washington,
Yep.
Colorado State,
Yep.
Cal Baptist,
Yep.
Ohio State,
Yep.
Toledo,
Yep.
Utah State,
No.
Indiana.
No.
So you missed two
So I
there.
went 29 for 31.
Men's side, Stanford, Oklahoma State,
Yep, yep,
BYU, Wisconsin, Wake Forest, Tulsa,
yep,
Notre Dame,
yep.
Villanova,
Yep.
Carolina, Alabama, Oregon, Syracuse, Harvard,
Yep.
Tennessee, Princeton,
Yep.
Texas, Arkansas,
Yep. Okay.
Air Force,
Yep.
Colorado,
Yep.
NC State,
Yep.
Portland,
Got that one wrong.
Colorado State,
Yep.
Montana State,
Yep.
Michigan State,
Got that one wrong.
Butler,
Yep.
Virginia,
Yep.
Charlotte,
Got that one wrong.
Cal Baptist,
Got that one wrong.
UCLA,
Got that one wrong.
Gonzaga.
Yep.
So you missed five on
Five.
the men's side?
So I missed 7 total.
So out of 62, you went 55. Oh! Just missed it. Just missed it. 88%.
Hey, that's a good. That rounds up to 89.
all these are right. But
which
then you
rounds
said
up
you're
to
only
an A.
98.4% sure that these are going to be the teams?
I'm 88.7% sure.
On a 99.4% projection. All right. We're going to leave it there. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll have more breakdown on this next week. Also, we'll dive into some other topics in the world of track and field. Thank you so much to Colt for doing an excellent job producing.
Yes, thank you, Colt.
Thanks to my co-host, Gordon.
And congrats to the 62 teams.
Yeah.
We'll see you in a week.
Sounds good. Talk to you guys later. Have a great weekend.